Ford is getting desperate. They're opening up financing to subprime lending, credit scores below 620, and they're trying to sell them an $80,000 pickup truck. This is not a smart idea. If you go to a Ford dealership, F-150s are everywhere, and a lot of them are old, have been sitting on the lot for a long time. So Ford has this bright idea to open up more lending to more people and obviously extend the loan term as well, which I guess it all works if they make their payments, but considering repo rates are the highest since '09, I don't think this is going to work. And you're literally talking about pickup trucks that cost $80,000, $1,100, $1,200, $1,500 truck payments. And it just doesn't make sense. Across the board, almost every single lender is increasing their loan loss provision, which is money they have to put aside for the people that aren't making their payments. That way they're prepared. They can get the car repoed and get their money back. It's just a game they play over and over again, and they're literally offering cars to people that haven't made their payments. What do you think's going to happen? It's pretty obvious what's going to happen, but you have a situation where all these dealerships just a few months ago had only 2024s. And then finally, Ford dealerships started to get 2025 F-150s in, and that's all they have. But other dealers have 2026s already on the lot. I see very few 2026s on Ford dealerships compared to other manufacturers. And sometimes we come across 2023s that have been sitting on the lot 780 days, sitting on the lot, not sold. Almost 800 days sitting at the Ford dealership. I mean, think about it. 2023s, Ford still has brand new sitting on dealership lots, so they're completely screwed. They don't know what they're doing. But you have the executive team at Ford Corporate that needs to sell more vehicles. It's all about numbers, and they're trying to get the numbers up. So they have some super bright idea to open up financing with Ford Financial to anybody. 620, who cares? Imagine a 22% interest rate on a vehicle at 84 months, and the vehicle costs $80,000. The amount of interest you will pay, it is probably double the cost of the vehicle. And these loans are actually happening. This is what Ford is signing off on. This is their bright idea. Ford is the recall king. They have more recalls than any other manufacturer, constant issues left and right. So you're paying all this money because the prices of a new Ford went up dramatically over the last few years. But then you get the quality issues because it's almost guaranteed you buy a brand new Ford. What are the chances you're going to have a recall? And so you spend all this money on a brand new vehicle, you get a recall, you can't even drive it. It's stuck in the service bay at a dealership waiting on parts. And you'll be lucky if you get a loaner car because they can't give loaner cars to everybody when you have as many recalls as Ford, because it's almost every single vehicle will eventually get some recall. It really seems like Ford worries about things later. They will go ahead and do as little as possible now, cheap out on parts, do this and that, and then if something comes up, a recall, they do the bare minimum that they legally have to do, because it's not like they're being nice and doing a recall out of just being nice. It's because they're forced to do it legally for safety reasons. They would never just want to fix their vehicle that has mechanical mistakes unless they legally have to. So it's pretty crazy what's going on in the car market in general, because you have extremely overpriced vehicles, especially from Ford, that have issues like no other and more recalls than everybody. They are known as the recall king. So now they have this super bright idea to offer more lending to more people by opening up that subprime lending segment through Ford Financial. This has already been tried before by multiple manufacturers. It can work when people make their payments, but considering repo rates are so high in the car market, you have loan loss provisions being increased by every single lender. So dealerships can sell some of these vehicles, they just can't get people to make the payments. So even if this does increase Ford sales, yeah, sure, for a minute, but then what happens if they don't make the payments? It's just repoing it right back, sending it to a dealer auction, and then they lose a ton of money. And it's crazy when I do come across the 2023s because those vehicles have been sitting for years. It just goes to show the mistakes that Ford has made. Building vehicles that are too expensive with the quality that they are, they're not worth it in the market speaking when you have vehicles that sit on your lot for multiple years. But they deserve this. This company is cheaped out on parts, quality, and everything while taking advantage of their consumer. And now they're trying to take more advantage to sell more vehicles with subprime lending being opened. We'll see how this goes, Ford, but I don't think it's going to be a good idea. But considering Ford CEO Jim Farley literally drove a competitor's vehicle and said it was so nice he wished he had one, I think, that's who's running the company. Most people overall think he does not need to be running the company, and they think he's ran it downhill dramatically. So not a good idea, but that's what you expect when you get management like you have. But let me know what you guys think. Are any of you guys running to the Ford store now that you can get approved with a 620 credit score for an $80,000 F-150? Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.